Hello again, everyone. I thought for this video I would do something a little bit different, and I thought maybe I would get some of my figures out that I've already painted, some of my armies, and just to show them off. For no other reason other than it kind of helps me get them out, lay them out on the table, have a good look at them. Like many people, I'm assuming that if you have figures or miniatures that they get put away in their display cases for perhaps years, and that happens to be the case with mine. And I thought, you know, they deserve some time on the table, even if I'm not going to use them. It's good to take stock of what you have in your dungeons, your basements, or wherever you keep your figures. These happen to be my American War of Independence armies. So there's obviously the British Army, which we can see here, and we have the Continentals. So I'm going to do this in I'm not going to take a long time to do this. I'm just going to show them off. Here we have the British Army laid out in front of us. If I just move the camera here, it's made up of around 20 regiments, with a regiment of cavalry and some artillery. I'll just go through them as best I can. Now, I don't remember. I painted these many years ago. Sorry for the shaky camera. I painted these many years ago, and although I did all the research as meticulously as I could, I have now forgotten which regiment is which. And I think my cat is going to come in here and say hello. Are you going to say hello? Don't touch him. Okay, you're going to be there? Good boy. Okay, so here we have in front of us right here, we have the Hessian Jaegers, along with the 3 Hessian Grenadier battalions and 2 Musketeer battalions. Here we have the 17th Light Foot and the Queen's Rangers, and they're basically the skirmishing part of this army. Here we have 4 regiments of British Foot. We have the Royal Artillery. There's 2 heavy guns and 1 light gun in that battery. Here we have 4 more regiments of British Line. We have a small battalion of Grenadiers and 2 Guard battalions, 1st and 2nd Guards. And here we have 4 more line battalions of British Foot, along with the 17th Light Dragoon, or the 17th Dragoons, or the 16th Dragoons. I can't remember. Oh, they're the 16th Dragoons. Yes. And some artillery. Interesting units in this army. These are all 10mm figures, all Pendragon figures. You can see here the Grenadiers, the Guards. Sorry about the shaky camera. This is the best I can do. Here we have the 71st Highlanders, the 42nd Highlanders, along with the 2 battalions of the 71st Highlanders. And if I just get up close to these figures here, maybe I can help. If you will zoom in, let's see. You know, Pendragon figures. They're nice. You know, they come in different types. I get the Hessian. Got a bent bayonet there. Let me fix that. Let me go here. No, they're pretty nice. Pretty nice figures for 10mm. And we have the, sorry, I got some paint on my hand there. I was priming this morning. The Grenadiers for the Hessians. My cat is destroying everything. He just picked up a Highlander there and chucked him. Speaking of Highlanders, let's get the... what else? Okay, there's also the command. Here's Henry Clinton with his command staff. Let's take a look at some of the artillery, maybe. These are just based on floor tiles I cut up. So there you have it. There's the Hessian Brigade. There's the 1st British Brigade, 2nd British Brigade, the Highland Brigade right there, the Guards Brigade, and the associated cavalry and artillery, along with the light forces. Now I'm just going to pause the video there. I know this is probably probably not the best video or most interesting video, but one of the things about the American War of Independence I like is that it seems to be a very colorful era to paint. So even though, you know, they're red coats, you think they're red, but no, there's lots of different units. There's the Tories, so the Loyalists, there's the Lights, Grenadiers, the Guards, the Highlanders, and then all the various foot regiments have different facings and cuffs. So it's actually, the British Army in this period isn't monotone at all. It's very interesting to paint, and I really enjoyed painting them. I painted these over several years, and I did them in 2 different batches. That's why there's 2 different painting styles here. There's the one, I would say, the cleaner version, which is these guys here. They're kind of painted a little cleaner. And then there's the heavily inked version, which is these guys here. These were done with the old army painter dark wash, and I painted about half of them in the army painter style, and the other half the cleaner way. And although it doesn't look 100%, it still looks fine to me. So I'm just going to go and take a look at the Continentals, and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry for the bad cut there, but here we are. This is the Continental half of the forces. So there's the British half over there, and the Continental half over here. I'll get down into the figures more closely in a second, but essentially there's over here. These are all Continentals. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4-man brigades plus a 3-man brigade. So there's 15 regiments of line Continentals. There's a Dragoon regiment there. There's quite a lot of artillery, and I did that for a certain reason. There's the heavy guns here and the light guns up front. And then here we have a 5-man brigade of, I guess it would be state militia. And then out front we have 1, 2, 3 different, I wouldn't call them regiments, but in this case we'll call them regiments of riflemen. Now, riflemen, I don't know if they were formed in regiments or battalions. To me, the way I made mine was basically just 3 groups of 10 bases, and they act as just harassers and skirmishers. Now, if I get a little closer, again, these are 100%, the British and the Americans, or the colonists, are 100% Pendragon figures. They're all 10mm. I never actually counted how many there were, but I think I'm well over 1,000. Again, this is probably about, I don't know, 7 years old. So if I get down closer in, if I look at the rifleman first, let's start where we should start. Here's the rifleman. I mean, if I get let me choose a different one here to look at. Hopefully it zooms in. Sorry about my painted fingers. Oh, he's got some grass on the end of his rifle, but hey, that happens. You know, they're decent figures. You know, when they're hunting schmuck, or they're hunting coats, whatever they're called. Here is a regiment of Continentals. Now, these were painted in a mixture of different facings. So there's yellows and reds. And to make sure that they looked a little bit more, I guess, ununiformed, I painted a certain amount of them in less regulation clothing. So you'll see a lot of hunting shirts, a lot of different types of clothing mixed in with the unit. So like you can see here, the hats, they look very hodgepodge. Even though they technically are colonial continental line, they are not as uniformed as you would find, say, in the British Army. And I did that for a reason. Now, it took a long time to paint that, and I got very, very tired after a while. But, I mean, again, I painted these in over the course of maybe a year and a half. And they're very nice figures, though. You have to, you know, if you like small scale or even Pendragon, you already know that these are excellent figures. Now, when it gets to for instance, the militia, here's the militia brigadier general or the colonel, whoever leads him, he's there. Looks like he's from the backcountry. But the militia are painted just like they're taking their... let me see if I can get him to zoom in here. They're painted like they're just coming out of their house. And that's also done for a reason, because I think that's exactly how they would look. Now the flags I just downloaded, and I just printed off, resized, cropped them, and printed them off. The line regiments are in 7 bases. So there's a command base and 6 infantry bases. The Riflemen are in bases of 10. And the Militia are slightly bigger, and they're in 8s. They're in 1 command base and 7 infantry bases. And I did that for all of them. So here's the Commander-in-Chief over here. Whether this be Washington or Charles Lee, doesn't really matter, or whoever. Horatio Gates, that type. Here's the artillery train. Now, I painted a lot of artillery for these guys, specifically because I wanted them to do, like if I wanted to do a siege of Yorktown, or, I don't know, any kind of defensive battles, or I could have extra artillery. And one of the good things about artillery is, really, if I wanted to use them as British, I could. But here they are with their light guns and his extremely crooked, whatever that thing is called, or cleaning out the barrel. There's them, and then here's the heavy guns. You know, these were all done back in the day with the Army Shade. That's when Army Shade was all the rage back then, the Army Painter stuff. And here's the American Dragoons. These are nice figures too. Oh, there we go. Really nice figures. But that's that. That's the force that I have. I think there's around 750 Continentals, and I think there's around 680 British and Hessians. Now, if this is a kind of a 12-minute long video now, so I'm going to stop. But if you're interested in this time period and this scale, definitely check out Pendragon. You can't go wrong. They have 2 different types of troops. They have troops marching, so you'll see they have troops that are in marching, so British and American. They have troops in marching pose, and they took a risk and they made troops in firing pose. So you don't find too many manufacturers at this scale that do that, and I really appreciated it. So I made sure that when I was ordering these figures, I ordered essentially 60% marching, 40% firing, just to give a little bit of different look to the armies. But anyway, that's it. That's my AWI 10mm. I am currently working on a 28mm AWI skirmish force, but that's a few weeks away from being finished yet. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you find this interesting, I appreciate that, and if not, it's a bit of a waste of time. Thanks. Bye.